Hey folks, welcome to another episode of American Heroes Outdoors. We're going out to the Missouri River in Gettysburg, South Dakota to fish some walleyes and tell some stories. This episode is a very special one for me because I'm going to reconnect with a bunch of my old Army National Guard buddies from the state of South Dakota when I started in the Guard 36 years ago. Also in this episode, we'll honor our next SCHEELS Hometown Hero, Dan Rohman.
American Heroes Outdoors shares the stories of our nation's true heroes, a documentation of journey, commitment, struggle, and healing, a glimpse into the sacrifice and bravery of our service men and women.
There he is, baby. There he is.
This is American Heroes Outdoors.
Hey everybody, good morning. We're on the Missouri River this morning, just out of Gettysburg, Whitlock's Bay. Just put in the water. Got two guys that I tell you what, I grew up in the Guard with together, and I'm pretty excited about today because it's been a long time since I've seen these two, Bruce Carter, Rich Albertson. We joined the Guard pretty much at the same time in South Dakota, and we all made careers out of the Guard. So we're gonna get out here, go fish some walleyes with these guys. They come out here every year. They've been coming out for about 9 years, and you're going to hear more from these two today, and we're going to have a great day in the water. Oh, there's fish everywhere, man. There's fish at 28 everywhere. Look at them all. Oh, we're gonna move up on a sunken island that's out here, kind of a sunken island point. Getting set up here. We're gonna pull crawler harnesses and leeches, and we're just gonna see if there's some walleyes up on this high point. Get up in that 25, and we're gonna go all the way up into like 10 feet of water and just kind of work this edge here slowly and see what happens.
This weekend, a bunch of my college friends and hometown buddies, we've been coming out here for just about 9 years now, I think it's been. We fish out here, we eat a lot of good fish fries, and we just have a good time telling old stories.
My first Missouri River walleye in a while, and I caught it before Bruce did.
Okay, good.
You know, but I kind of remember that. I kind of remember it being like that all the time. Try, we'll throw them in. That button right there. Got one, Bruce? All right, attaboy. Now flip him, Bruce. There's a nice one.
Well, at least I got ahead of Richie that time.
Right. Attaboy.
I usually did get more of the girls than Richie did anyways.
There, I got that one.
The biggest thing was we never got to see each other. We all grew up pretty tight in Watertown, and part of it's a stress reliever. You're out here with a bunch of guys, you don't have to worry about anything. Usually you don't have to bait your own hook or bring your own rods. You just show up and have fun.
That's a feed, Sean.
There, we got a couple in the box. How'd that make you feel? Oh, that's pretty fun, man. Love up being out here catching fish. It's a blast, and just having a good time with friends.
This is like a super tiny one. Look at this little guy. I could tell when he was hanging on that there's just a little squirt. There's a better one. Good. It's a solid little fish. 14 and a half, 15 incher. I must have 3 in there bigger than yours.
But that don't matter. You already have the bling. I'm getting the bling from you. American Heroes Outdoor bling. Jeez. Rich, you want to reel this one in? It's a little bigger, Rich.
Rich, don't do it. Don't do it.
You can do it, Rich.
Don't get caught up in his game.
Scott's gonna have to take me in pretty soon.
Yeah.
Whoa. Pop him off, Rich.
I don't know what to tell you, Rich, buddy. I don't know what to tell you, bud. He's a little fart, but... Need a net there, boy? Huh? No? Hey! Blind squirrel finds a nut. It's a fish. You got the stink off now. Good one, Bruce? All right, got us off 7, got us off 6. Perfect. If you don't think he's a flipper, you let me know and I'll net him. Got him? Ah, that's a nice one, Rich.
There we go. Go do your job, worm.
Well, it's been an interesting day so far. We caught some fish right away this morning. I thought we were going to be done in a matter of minutes, quite frankly, and caught a lot of little ones. There's a lot of little fish in the system, which is really good to see. We haven't caught a lot of big ones. We're about 4 short right now from full limit, but gosh, we've caught a lot of fish, went through a lot of bait.
Oh, it could be a big one, Rich.
That's a good one. Nice one, Rich.
Oh, attaboy. You got the bling coming your way now.
I got a scrunt. Oh, geez, that's a keeper too, yeah. Bruce, tell us a little bit about where you were deployed and your deployment experience overall.
I went to Operation Iraqi Freedom with 2nd Battalion, 147th Field Artillery. Back in 2003, we went and late December down to Fort Sill, the mobilization station, and then we were stationed in Kuwait for a couple of weeks, and then we moved up into Iraq, and we had a couple of different missions. We had convoy security, and then the second part of the mission was captured enemy ammunition. We worked with some civilians and some of the locals that would load up all the ammunition that was over there from Saddam, and we provided security for those teams, and then they would blow up the ammunition or they would put it in different storage sites and stuff. So we had a very busy mission over there, you know, those 2 missions.
I was part of Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, and from May 2010 to May 2011. We were stationed in Kabul. We had about 8 FOBs that we're in charge of in the surrounding area of Kabul. And so I worked in the Department of Logistics for them, their senior NCO there, and just make sure that everybody had anything possible they needed as far as food, supply, and equipment. I would say the best thing about my whole military experience is acquiring a brotherhood with people that you have to count on, and they have to count on you just to make sure that you take care of their livelihood. You can't find that really in a civilian job. So when people retire, that's why you see people that gather with people they're like. That's probably what brought on a little bit of this fishing tournament too, because we got 3 of us good friends that retired out of the military. The saying that they had is be all you can be. The military can provide that for you. It's a good job. If you ever want to really belong to a group, the military is the way to go.
Boy, Rich, it's a fish, right?
There's people that come back that, you know, their life completely changes, you know, and being able to get with your friends and your family and you know, to communicate you know, if you are having issues or anything like that with them, or, you know, going to getting help if you need it, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think, you know, having the camaraderie of my buddies on these fishing trips and, you know, just being in the outdoors fishing and hunting, it's one of the best ways ever to relax and let your feelings go and just have a great time and enjoy yourself.
American Heroes Outdoors is brought to you by SCHEELS, Disabled American Veterans of Minnesota, Smoky Hills Outdoor Store, Skeeter Boats, and Yamaha Outboards, Woodland Resort, Ottertail Lakes Country, Yamaha, Ice Castle Fish Houses, S&S Promotional Group, and Wheelers Point Resort. Interested in supporting our mission at American Heroes Outdoors? Go to AmericanHeroesOutdoors.com to nominate your very own hero or drop a donation to support our nation's true heroes.
Hey everybody, good morning, day 2 out here on the Missouri River. Pretty excited about today because I've got a good friend of mine that I've served with pretty much my whole career in the boat today, and that's Paul Raker. And Paul and I go way back. Paul, what do you think?
Yeah, should be a good day. 32 years serving with Scott. It's been a great career, and I've been out of here for 4 years and retired just like you, so I'm looking forward to a good day fishing.
We both have a love of fishing in the Missouri River. And for me to get back out here after so many years with Paul and all of his friends, guys that I grew up with around and I knew when I worked in Watertown before my Army days, this has been a pretty special trip already. So I'm looking forward to a great day, so stay tuned.
Oh, nice one too. Big one too.
There we go.
So really was a traditional M-Day soldier, just a part-time soldier up until 2008 when the 34th Infantry Division got a notification to deploy over to Iraq. I was fortunate enough to come on about 11 months prior to and work full-time to work with the headquarters and get the unit ready to deploy. And then deployed over to Iraq. The headquarters was located down in Basra, and they sent a few of us up to Baghdad. I got an opportunity to go up and work in Saddam's palace in current operations, and so it was really exciting. Some neat things to see up there, and for me it was a great deployment, and up there with some great soldiers. As a soldier, you get over there, and they refer to it as your battle rhythm. You're getting up at the same time, and you're working long days, and you go to the chow hall, and the food's all ready for you, and you get a little sleep, and you do it all again every day. You know, and when I came back, people always said, well, thank you for your service, thank you for your service. And what I tried to tell the people was, you need to thank my wife and the families that support these people when they're deployed. You know, for me, they were preparing my meals. They were, I had a place to sleep. You know, back here, my wife's taking care of, 3 small children, kids in traveling sports, and it's the families and the individuals that support these soldiers that, I think are the ones that need to be thanked. The most challenging part for me was being away from the family. When I deployed, my youngest son was only 15 months old. I had another son that was 12 and another son that was 15, both in traveling sports. The simple things that we don't see anymore, the handwritten letters that you get from your family and your friends and the people that you work with mean so much, and the care packages that people sent over really kept you in contact with what was going on back home.
Last one, Paul?
I think so.
Come on.
Other two individuals that we've been fishing with went to high school together, joined the military together, and it's our opportunity to get down here and just really connect. And it's not even about the fishing. The fishing is second nature. It's being able to come out here and talk about things we went through, talk about our deployments, and just have a good time.
We're sharing more stories on our social media pages. Scheels Hometown Heroes, Sunday Service Spotlight, and more. Help us share more stories of our servicemen and women.
Welcome back to the show. During this episode, we're also going to highlight our next Scheels Hometown Hero, Dan Rohman. He ain't going to be happy about coming either.
Pretty nice one.
Welcome to Scheels Hometown Heroes.
Scheels Hometown Heroes is a way for us to say thanks
to those that serve our country and our community.
And are still giving back to others today.
We honor your service by sharing your stories.
From all of us at Scheels, thank you for your service.
Hi, my name is Jordan Yes from Scheels in Mankato, and we are excited and honored to announce Dan Rohman as our next Scheels Hometown Hero.
Hey everybody, our next Scheels Hometown's Hero, which is Dan Rohman. He's a two-time Purple Heart veteran and from Vietnam, and we're super excited. And we're going to take him and his son out in the boat tomorrow, and we're going to tell their story for our next Scheels Hometown Hero.
Being from a small town, he had to fill a lot of shoes in that small town. Like you said, firefighter. He was a teacher. My mom did daycare, and he helped there with kids and just busy with everything.
I call him Coach Rohman. I've known him probably for 40 years, and our relationship started when I was a manager for the football team, and then eventually through school he was my teacher. He was on the fire department with my dad, ambulance crew with my dad, so he was really a pillar in the community that I've known forever.
My parents raised me to do that, to be, and that's who they were and that's who I was. It's just something that you did for a town. And when we moved into a small town, it was just, people said, hey, you want to be on the fire department? I go, yeah, I do. Hey, you want to be on the ambulance? Yeah, I'll volunteer for the volunteer ambulance. And, joined the Legion. I was president of the church council for quite a few years, and just everything in town. We didn't have a summer rec program, and I knew my kids were growing up and needed, something to do in the summer. So I said, let's start a softball team. So we had like 12 kids the first summer, and by the end of the fourth summer, we had 90-some kids that were involved in the program, and we were going to other towns and playing games, and we had like 3 divisions and levels, and it was just awesome.
Like we started out in the park in Bellevue and played, like you said before, there was, 12 of us, and that grew into a large, thing for the town where there was a bunch of kids coming from out of town, and I even ended up helping coach a couple years after that, so that was kind of a cool thing that, he started in town for the kids in town.
Our relationship really, it evolved from teacher to coach, really to a true friend, and that's what I would call him today.
From 7th grade through 11th grade, I had him as history. Always was fun. He just was a great mentor. You could go to him, talk to him at any time. He was very supportive and encouraging. He didn't talk about his service a lot when we were in class.
I knew that I probably would end up, since Vietnam was going on hot and heavy, and I had been watching television, and all the stuff and all the protests and stuff that were going on. Really, a lot of that wasn't going on until the early 70s when I was out already, but I was at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I flew down there. I think I got to the main airport in Kentucky, but then we had to hop on a little tiny 2-engine aircraft. There was about 11 or 12 people in there. And I remember we were flying in a storm, and I was sitting next to this real elderly lady, and I had my hand on the armrest, and she reached over and grabbed my hand, and she says, "Are we going to crash?" And I said, "No, ma'am." I said, "We're okay." I said, "These pilots know what they're doing." And I comforted her, and I thought, why am I comforting her? I'm going to Vietnam. Most of what you used in Vietnam, you learned the first 2 months you were there. I didn't have a clue. My first mission, when I walked out of that barbed wire, at our LZ Sharon. That was our landing zone where our company was stationed. When I walked out of that barbed wire, I was pooping in my pants. I was so frightened. But once you got out in the field and started to understand, the guys were chewing you out and ripping you and reaming you and telling you you're doing stuff wrong, and they were trying to help you. You know, you learned real fast. When you went out in the field, you had somebody else's back, and they had your back, and this guy had his back. You covered everybody. You always were there. And this was the scary part about it. When something happened to somebody, like when that first grenade that blew up, and I had 3 guys laying on the ground bleeding and screaming and yelling, and Sergeant Bass was behind me, and he was on the phone, and the medic, we had a medic with us, and he was fixing people, and these guys were yelling, and all of a sudden the training kicked in, and you did exactly what you were taught to do. Set up a field of fire, protect the people you're with, make sure. I think that was the biggest thing, and knowing that you were with these people and you were going to be with them, they were your support to survive this thing that you were involved with. It made a big difference, I think, in who I was and what I believed. You have, when you start out doing something, you have kind of a rule for yourself, on what you're going to try to bring on to your players and your kids in class. And I was pretty strict. I didn't let people get by with things, and you had to teach them that, the discipline that they were in, the history or whatever it was, geography, but you also had to make people out of them.
Dan, thank you for your service. Man, it was fun spending a day in the boat with you and your son, and those walleyes were huge. Speaking of huge, next week our very own CEO Dave Morse will be heading out to Idaho to chase bull elk. And you're going to learn a lot more about what makes our CEO tick. So from all of us at American Heroes Outdoors, thanks for watching.